Hey you guys, it's Marissa. As promised, I'm going to show you a little evolution of my scrapbooking layouts. I apologize for like the shadows of me moving and the glare, but I really wanted to get a good, light action going. And to be honest, didn't want to take all of my layouts out of the page protectors. So I just grabbed like a few of my most recent ones, like within, I don't know, the past 6 months, and then just started grabbing and going down. This isn't all the way to like the very, very beginning of my scrapbooking, but just kind of gives you an idea of where I went. And I just want to say too, if you have Amazon Prime, you don't have to have Amazon Prime for this, but if you don't want to pay shipping, I was already, oh gosh, ordering some books, so it didn't matter, but I have Amazon Prime, and so I would have just ordered these without, having to pay. But anyways, at the time, I don't know now, but I got these. We Are Memory Keepers 12 by 12, and they're nice and thick and sturdy. And I got a 10-pack, I think we're like $3.50. So that's really, really good. And oh gosh, I probably bought 15 to 20 packs. I don't even know. I don't remember. But I think it's a really good deal. So check out Amazon for those. So here we go. You might have remembered I actually did this one for one of my challenges. So I'm not going to talk about them. I'm just going to kind of let you see, where I have kind of, where it started to evolve. I think this was also one of my challenges. I mentioned in my last video, I had to make this over. But when I was talking in my last one, I think a lot about my scrapbook layouts. I've always been that way. This is all messed up. Gosh. So these were the last 4. This one I did a few years ago, and then it's just going to go from there. I should have pulled from, anyways. I didn't think a lot about, embellishments, and I just went with it and what felt right, and I didn't care about balance. And I have to say that I kind of enjoyed that process years ago more than I do now. I think I'm more worried about, is this going to match? Is this going to look good? And so it really opened my eyes looking through these, that I just have to have fun with it. I don't know. I didn't really care back then. I mean, I cared, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. This is my older son and I. It's a few years ago. Really, like, you can tell that I love sprinkles for a while. I have some hidden journaling here. And you will also notice that a lot of things I stay within the middle. And this is like blank. Like that's where I was looking, or that's what I was noticing. I have a blog. Haven't posted in a while, but that was just about our blog. And I still love empty space. Sometimes I take pictures on purpose to have this empty space to be able to do this. So I just really liked how simple everything was. I scrap lifted this idea. This was when Brandon was 6. He's 11 now. And in each little circle, I put a few things about him at the time. So I liked how simple it was. And he had just made that little photo, or that little heart shot for me. This was an Instagram photo. And again, I'm just like loving all I was loving the sprinkles at the time. If you are a longtime subscriber, hello sprinkles, you remember when I shared this and I counted on camera how many kids I had at the time, and I was like 1 2 3 4, wait, 1 2 3 4, and I freaked out because I forgot this guy down here. Yeah, so at the time, that's why it looks funky. There was only this, so I had to throw Damien in there, but I really like that design. This was Damien actually 3 years ago at the King's game. I ordered this King's pin online. That was before I found awesome companies like the Crafty Pickle, who do great flair and not as thick and bubbly as this pin, which I'm sure she does do pins for you too, but I was looking for flair and that just wasn't what I wanted. But not a lot of Sacramento King stuff around. This was when we took Damien, yes, Damien, to Van Halen. This was a long time ago. Well, not that long ago, but I did this for a challenge, so I think it was Scrappin' and Rappin', Sherry's challenge. And I always loved mixing fonts, always. This is my oldest is 22 now, but this was in 2009, so he was, I don't know, maybe a junior. He's on the track team. And the thing I liked, this is right when I got my selfie. I think this is when I got my selfie, and I just went crazy with like matting pictures in little squares and using die cut. The 12 by 12 die cut sheets, yeah. I meant to take out more to show you how much I use that. This was Mila. I was just so excited to have a little girl to scrap. And I used a lot of papers around this time that had designs already. This one, I can't remember. I should have looked before I redid this. It's called Pages by Design. And they had plastic, like acetate templates that you could place on. And just that, it's very linear. And so I remember I did this one. And so as you can see, it's very block looking. Again, there's those little square pictures I like to do. But I noticed also that I become very creative with my titles. Not now anymore, but back then I did. Just like play period. I know that's like not that, but oh my gosh, I'm missing a lot of... I just liked my titles back then. I was more creative and I didn't think so much about it. Oh gosh, I was probably 100 pounds heavier there, but it's okay. This is a chipboard heart, and this is a huge chipboard frame. And I actually did this for a challenge for, I think, on Scrapbooking National Scrapbooking Day on like scrapbook.com. So I like the way this one came out too. And I think this was a die cut sheet. I really like die cut sheets, and I used a lot of paper clips. I remember that as well. But like my bookworm, like, I don't know, I just wouldn't have thought about that now. This is when Damien was 8, and he was really, it's probably the last time he ever read a book. If you remember, I shared in my Project Life that he doesn't like to read. And this one I like handed the wave, and I really liked using bigger pictures. You know, now I use a lot of smaller Instagram size pictures, but back then I used more 4x6s and would cut it down to how I needed it to be cut. And I did a lot of this way on the pictures too, and I kind of like it. Like no paparazzi. I don't know, I just would have never thought of that now. Well, it probably would have been like nothing. I would have never have scrapbooked these pictures. I'm so glad I did though. This was Mila, and I bought so many flowers because it was like I have a daughter now, and so a lot of her layouts have flowers on them, lots of Prima flowers. And I also used to journal a lot and cut it into strips, and I wish I did that more. So seeing this, makes me want to scrapbook right now. Little funny, I probably would have never used that now, maybe in my Project Life, but like, where's the monkeys? Aren't I creative? Look at Brandon and Damien. Oh, this is before Max. I've noticed also in my books, there are lots of pages of Damien and Brandon. I swear once I hit the 4th kid, I was like, I ain't scrapbooking no more. Like, that's it. I thought this was the first one. This is second layout I did of Mila, and I was so happy to buy pink stuff. I didn't even know what to buy in the store, so I brought in brown because it just felt right. I was so used to boys. Like stickles, die cut crown jewels, things I had never used before. I was like, oh my gosh. So I really liked that one. She was such a pretty baby girl. And this one, Shy Girl. If anybody watches It's Judy's Life, my daughter, she invented Shy Girl. Yeah, so I did a lot of this, like one piece of paper and then the background. Like this. This is another template from that company that I think I used as well. And this was just because I swore that Max was a mini version of Eric when he was little. I like my button frame. I don't know, I like this one, so I Mini E. And before I got into mixed media, I was putting paint on my layouts and journaling over it. I love the way that looks. Never too old. This was him dyeing Easter eggs. Now, the like weirdness in me would not have mixed off-white with bright white. Yeah, I don't know. And I would never have used this page either, but this was Troy and I a long old time ago. I think it just says you. And yeah, I liked to rip a lot. And I used a lot of these My Mind's Eye, like vintagey journaling cards. I'm missing the A. It's the first time I'd ever used a black background, but I loved the way it looked. I loved it. And look I outlined before I ever saw anybody else do it. And the white, I loved what I did to this layout. It's one of my favorite ones. Heidi Swap's journaling spots. And if anybody remembers the 12 by, Joanne, you might, the 12 by 12 felt, remember those huge sheets of 12 by 12 thick old felt pieces of die cuts? Oh my gosh, I still have them all. I used a staple there before we had a mini staple. I act like I'm just so old and I invented scrapbooking, but I didn't. But it was like when Allie Edwards first came out, that's when I started scrapbooking. So that's kind of who I liked a lot back then, and creating keepsakes. So a lot of the techniques were things that I saw her do. I'm proud of myself for trying to think outside the box, putting the title around the corners. I probably wouldn't have done that now, but that was from 2006. Let me go quick. This was just being excited that I had a girl, and I freehand cut that purple piece. I really liked this one that I did with the boys too. I love doing boy pages. I loved it. And this is all ribbon that I had cut. Thought I was all cool. These boys of mine. I stamped this Rebel. This was Brandon just not loving that I'm taking a picture of him. I really like my old layouts. This was the first one I did of Mila. And yeah, see, I learned. I don't even cut off branding strips. I didn't. I'm sorry. This was the first one I did of her. And I just was so excited to use pink. I actually think I won a contest at a local scrapbook store because of this picture. Oh, and this one. Oh my gosh. Okay, not showing that. But yeah, you know what? I think, oh, here's another one. It's out of this was a Technique Tuesday chipboard piece. I really like this. This was 3 of the boys walking in Santa Cruz to stick together. I'm just so creative, aren't I? I think I am. Or I think I was. Pretty in pink. There's this one of Eric. Time will tell. Oh, just love it. All giggles. And the last one I want to show you is this Joyful. This was a My Mind's Eye line. And I took the time to cover chipboard back then and ink and distress. I don't do that now. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't too boring or too long. And I will be back soon. I'm going to share my mixed media updated space. Okay, thanks so much for watching, you guys. Bye.